since the coup that led to the ouster of Sheikh Hasina in 2024. Bangladesh's unelected interim advisor, Mohammad Yunus, has systematically dismantled the relationship with India.
It's an amazing, meticulously designed thing. It's not just suddenly came, it's not like that. Very well designed.
Bilateral trade between India and Bangladesh is down by 35%, from $14 billion in 2023 to just $9.1 billion in 2025, since India shut its land ports to Bangladesh. Joint counterterrorism operations have hit a pause. Teesta water talks have frozen, with Yunus's pro-China pivot for the critical project very close to India's Siliguri corridor. Yunus has reversed all of Hasina's bans, reopening shipping lanes to Pakistan and resuming intelligence exchanges with the ISI. In 2025 alone, ISI delegations have visited Dhaka at least 3 times, once in January, then in May after Operation Sindoor, and the latest just last month in October. Just this month alone, Yunus and Bangladesh's Army Chief General Waqar-uz-Zaman have discussed enhanced cooperation with top Pakistani General Zahir Shamshed Mirza. Amidst all this, Bangladesh's National Security Advisor Khalilur Rahman, a close aide of Mohammad Yunus, is set to visit India on November 19th to participate in a meeting of the Colombo Security Conclave, following the invitation of India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. The visit of the National Security Advisor of Bangladesh is critical, as it comes just days after an unprecedented event in recent history. Pakistan's Navy ship PNS Saif docked at the Chattogram port, first since 1971 Liberation War. Not just that, Pakistan's Navy Chief Admiral Naveed Ashraf also visited Dhaka last week, showing the highest levels of military engagement resuming since the coup and since 1971.
The political climate in Bangladesh has been steadily worsening since last July. You know, the so-called spontaneous student uprising has very quickly been unmasked as a very carefully crafted, meticulously designed, to use the words of Mohammad Yunus himself, a meticulously designed regime change operation. This regime change operation since last August has been marked by increasing violence within the country, perpetrated more and more by the interim government and its various agencies, and together with this, a declining support for what the interim regime has in mind. One must understand that the real power behind the interim regime within Bangladesh is the Jamaat-e-Islami. And the Jamaat-e-Islami has declared, together with the individual advisors to Mohammad Yunus in his interim regime, that they want a caliphate in Bangladesh. So this is a very difficult situation, but if free, fair, inclusive and credible elections are held in Bangladesh, whichever party wins, there will be no problem, because India will be more than willing to do business with that party and to ensure that in Bangladesh we have a friendly government, because the people support the values of the liberation war. They support secularism and democracy in Bangladesh.
It's not just Pakistan. Yunus's tilt towards China is also concerning. Yunus's last Beijing trip had raised alarm bells in New Delhi over the Chinese investment in the Teesta Rejuvenation Project and the shocking revival of the World War II era Lal Munirhar Air Base for Chinese access, just 80 kilometers from the Siliguri corridor.
7 states of India, eastern part of India, called Seven Sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility. So this could be an extension of the Chinese economy.
New Delhi earlier this year was optimistic of revival of ties with Bangladesh, and the focus was on preventing Pak's terror footprint in Bangladesh.
I had used the word epicenter of terrorism for a particular country. Now that countrymen, if they go to any other place and they happen to be our neighbor, as far as I am concerned, I should be concerned about it. That they should not be able to use that soil to kind of send terrorists to India. That is as far as that is concerned. As far as the second setup is concerned, that how's the administration, my stance is that when we have elected government, then we can say how should be our relationship. But as far as the military relationship is concerned, is very strong. And we are able to exchange notes whenever we want. And that's what we have been doing it.
But with radical elements like Hafiz Saeed's close aides being spotted close to India's Siliguri corridor in Bangladesh and the rising ISI movement in Dhaka, India's military priority has shifted in the last 8 months.
आपको मैं आश्वासन देना चाहूंगा कि भारत की तीनों सेनाएं, आर्मी, नेवी और एयरफोर्स, वायुसेना, थल सेना और नौसेना और सभी एजेंसीज, जो भी सिचुएशन हमारे आसपास हो रही है हम उसको मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं और जो भी कदम उठाने चाहिए हमें या जो हमें उठाने पड़ेंगे भविष्य में हम वो करेंगे.
India has begun its largest mobilization on the Eastern Front with exercise Purvi Prachand Prahar and various NOTAMs in place till January in Northeast and Bay of Bengal. India's warning is very clear. Any misadventure, any export of instability, and India will be ready.
The very fact that the ISI connived with the CIA to create this colored so-called Gen Z revolution in Bangladesh is an attempt to undo the security restructuring of South Asia that was done by India in 1971. It highlighted India's role as the preeminent power in South Asia, and Pakistan has tried to undo this. Pakistan has tried to undo this by, in connivance with the CIA of the United States. So they are, trying to threaten that they can cut the Siliguri corridor. May I remind Bangladesh that they have that entire thumb of Rangpur that juts out like a thumb into Indian territory can be nipped off at the bud, at the base. And they also have a Chittagong corridor. And we can cut these corridors off. In the bargain, Bangladesh will be a much smaller state. Maybe it would be a neater state and more well-behaved.
The National Security Advisor of Bangladesh arrives at a pivotal point. While Mohammad Yunus eyes legitimacy post the Awami League ban, the Bangladesh army seems to be wary of Pakistan and may seek Indian balance. It's a tightrope for the Bangladesh army between stability and chaos.
This interim regime led by Yunus, they want to turn Bangladesh into a radical Islamist country or a caliphate. They want to impose Sharia law in this country. On the other hand, what we expected our army to do, or what was expectations of the popular masses with our army, they are not really doing that actually. Our army is more or less silently letting Yunus advance his agenda, or in some cases even army is helping Yunus in implementing his agenda. So with these realities, I mean, what willingness army or have about his relations with India is unclear, but it is clear that Yunus is very much willing to destroy his relations with India and become another Pakistan.
The big question now emerges: what will be India's move to salvage the relationship with Bangladesh? With the elections due in Dhaka in just 3 months, and Hasina still in exile in India with her party banned from competition.
We are not allowed to conduct any election preparation. So even if the ban is lifted at the last minute, the elections will be a sham. It will not be recognized by the people of the country. It will not be recognized by international observers. they will all be forced to say that these elections will not be free and fair. And so that such an election will not last. There will be unrest in the country.
Under Prime Minister Modi, India has followed a very strong and effective neighborhood-first foreign policy. And Bangladesh has been the most successful example of this neighborhood-first foreign policy. And I would like to explain it in one very significant way. When I was High Commissioner in Bangladesh and Begum Khalida Zia of the BNP was in government in an alliance with the Jamaat-e-Islami, at that time the most significant issue between India and Bangladesh was the security issue, the whole set of issues which comprised the security threat to India, which was coming from the Bangladesh government support for Indian insurgent groups from Northeast India and from any other anti-Indian group that was readily being given shelter in Bangladesh. So India has always wanted that the Bangladesh government, any political party, should respect India's security concerns and respect India's security red lines.
The National Security Advisor visit is strategic, with a possible bilateral between NSA Ajit Doval and Khalilur Rahman. All eyes will be on how India would calibrate its military and diplomatic posture.
India's endeavor would be to bring peace and prosperity to the whole region, providing our neighbors let us, providing they don't fall prey to foreign agendas of trying to, display unmitigated hostility towards India, trying to create problems for a much bigger neighbor India, and that will rebound on them. If they can create problems for us, we can create 10 times the problem for them. And it would grievously harm the Bangladesh economy, the Bangladesh stability as a nation state. It could disintegrate. And it is a pity. We had helped to free this country. We expected these people to at least be grateful.
Khalilur Rahman's Delhi trip isn't just about talks with India. It's about India's line in the sand against Yunus's provocation. From warships to water grabs, with radicals rising and the Chinese lurking. Success means a deterred Dhaka. Failure, a fortified threat. India stands vigilant, its neighborhood first, but never at the cost of India's security.